I'm looking for the tables to find the solutions to a system of equations. So these are x values. These are the y values in f of x, and these are the y values in g of x. So in order to find the solution, they would need to have the same x and y. So let's look at the x's. For this x, this one has 5 and this one has 3, so they're not the same. For this x, this has 3 and this has 2. But if you look right here, for this x value, they have the same y value, which is 7, 1. Okay? And looking at this one, there's actually 2 for this one. For when x is 3, they both have -8. And when x is 0, they both have 17 as a y value. So these are very simple if you just look at them. Okay, this 12.5 and 12 are where they have the same solution. In order to look at the number of solutions that a system of equation has, there's this chart in the toolkit. So if there is one solution, that means the lines are going to cross. And anytime the lines have different slopes, then they will cross. No matter what, if there are different slopes, then lines will cross. Or you're going to have an x value and a y value that work. You're not going to have all variables cancel out. For no solution, the lines aren't going to cross. And the only type of lines that don't cross are parallel lines, which means they have the same slope and a different y-intercept. And for infinite solutions, they would be crossing at every single point, which would mean they would have the same slope and the same y-intercept because they'd be the same line. Now, if you're using substitution or elimination, if there's no solution, all of your letters are going to cancel out and leave you with a false statement. For infinite solutions, it'll leave you with a true statement. So let's look at some of these examples. Number 11, we've got to decide which method would be best to solve this. I'd say maybe elimination would be best, but in order to use elimination, I need to get them in the same form. Okay, so I'm going to get the bottom one in this form by adding 6x to both sides. Then I'm going to have 6x minus 10y equals 20. And then I'm going to keep the top equation the same. 3x minus 5y equals 10. Now, some of you can recognize how many solutions there are at this point. If I use elimination, I would need to multiply the bottom by -2 to eliminate my x's. And that gives me -6x, positive 10y, and -20. And on the top, I've still got positive 6x, -10y. So let's see what happens when I add these together. When I add these together, you should see that everything cancels out. So I'm left with 0 plus 0 equals 0. So anytime you have both x's and y's cancel out, it will automatically be no solution or infinite solutions if both of them cancel out. And in this case, we are left with a true statement. So this one is infinite solutions. Okay, I would also use elimination for this one. In order to cancel out the x's, I can multiply everything on the bottom by -1. And then I'm going to get -6x, positive 3y equal to -6. On the top, I've got positive 6x, -9y is equal to 12. If I add these together, I don't have both letters cancel out. This is -6y equals 6. There is still a y. I don't have both letters cancel out, so that means that there is one solution. And lastly, This one, why don't we get the y's alone? Well, there's a couple different ways that you could do it. Let's get the y's alone in both of these to see what the slopes are. So if I subtract 4x from both sides, then this gives me negative 6y equals negative 4x plus 10. I'm going to divide everything by negative 6. And then I have y equals, this would become positive 2/3 because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And I could divide both of these by 2. So positive 2/3 x, and then minus, because a positive divided by a negative is a negative. I could divide both of these by 2 to get 5/2. So that is that equation. For this equation, I could just divide everything by negative 6. And that equation is going to give me y equals, again, negative 4 divided by negative 6 gives me 2/3. And what is 12 divided by negative 6 is negative 2. So looking at the slopes, they have the same slope. Are they the same exact line? No. They have the same slope and different y-intercepts. That means that they are parallel. And parallel lines have no solution.